Hi everyone, my name is Vareen, and on behalf of Microsoft Staqu and Value Prospect, I welcome you all for this exclusive virtual workshop on Reimagine Video Analytics with JARVIS. Thank you very much for sparing your time and joining this workshop. Before we start, a few guidelines I would like to make you aware of. I would request all of you to be on mute, please. The webinar is happening on Teams platform, so your names would be visible in the attendee list and the session would be recorded. Hope this is fine with all. We would take we would be taking your questions during the Q&A sessions. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you can post the same in chat box or you can use the hand raise option. I hope all the guidelines are clear. With this, we would like to welcome our keynote speaker for the day, Mr. Neeraj Kumar, AVP Business at Staqu Technologies. Over to you, Neeraj.
Yeah, thank you so much, team. Thanks for organizing this particular webinar, and a very good morning to everyone for sparing out your valuable time today in order to understand and hear more about, artificial intelligence technologies like video analytics. That is, how organizations are using the technology across their sites to, take better decision making with respect to, their various different business verticals like safety, security, operational SOPs, and a lot of different things, right? So as mentioned, I basically head the private division for Staqu technology altogether, and I'm one of the core team members out here. At the same time, today, the particular agenda, or you can say the core values that we'll be sharing around is around video analytics, right? So you are from a manufacturing site, you are from a retail organization, you are from a infrastructural side, doesn't even matter, right? So there's something for everyone out here, and you can have a food for your thought by the end of this, 30 to 45 minutes of session, follow up by, the Q&A that we'll be having, right? So without wasting a much, right, I'll directly jump onto the core part of it, right? So I'll share my screen, quickly show you, give you a company background as well in the initial phases, but hold on your horses meanwhile, right? Because very soon after that, you'll get to understand the real life use cases that, different organizations are using across using their existing CCTV infrastructure, right? So we'll touch base those angles as well. And at the same time, if the time allows, I'll also show you how the live platform and the product looks like in that particular case, right? So there are a lot of things that's going to happen in the next 30 to 45 minutes. If you be with me till that point in time, I can promise you that you'll be getting a lot more insights in terms of digital transformation, in terms of where the artificial intelligence is heading in near future, and how you be it a mid to higher level management or a senior level management, how you can actually make your organization and create an impact inside your organization in a much more better way than before. So I'm just sharing my screen with everyone. Just a moment. So value prospecting, just to check, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, Neeraj, it is visible. You need to switch it to the full screen.
I'm just doing it. I'm just including the computer side as well. Just a moment. Perfect. Is it visible? I'm just
Yes,
making
yes, it is.
perfect. Perfect. I think you all of you can see the screen right now. My only request would be put a thumbs up in a chat window or wherever, say that, so that we can understand that you are here and the audience is live with us, right? Meanwhile, in between the presentation, I'm just putting a disclaimer. If any questions arises in your head, right, feel free to immediately drop that particular question into the chat window so that you don't need to wait for the later half. As soon as the presentation goes off, I'll pick up the high priority questions and most impactful questions from the chat window, so that can actually help your peer members too. So now I'm starting off. Basically, Jarvis is one of the proprietary video analytics platform that we own, right? In layman terms, whenever we talk about video analytics, right, the number one thing that comes in our head is video. Okay, it's something related to CCTV cameras, right? What if I give you a food for thought here, imagine if you have 5 to 10 different, manufacturing sites, say for example, if you have hundreds and thousands of retail outlets span India, right? Even if you have a IT park, right, or you are a commercial real estate company, say for an example, the one thing that is common across all is the monitoring and the surveillance part of it, right? People install CCTV cameras just for the sake of either monitoring purpose or the compliance perspective, right? You will also understand, right? A lot of capex investment goes into it. But if you think deep, what is the main thing that we are getting out of it? Nothing. I'll tell you why. Apart from recording of footages, nothing we are getting. And imagine, when do you use your CCTV cameras? Only when you realize that some incident has happened. So when you go back and try to look into those incidents, what generally happen, right? Either the cameras were not working because they are on different login credentials. Your IT guy is not able to look into 24/7 and so on and so forth. Or the recording was unavailable because the NVR or the DVRs were full, or some other technology glitch was there, right? So in most of the cases, we face this, genuine problems. And that is where it really become important for us to, make those existing CCTV cameras smarter. And that is what we do, right? Jarvis actually convert your dumb CCTV devices into an intelligent device just by using an artificial intelligence layer on top of it. So just with a software layer, you can actually give a brain to your CCTV cameras so that all of a sudden, all your hundreds and thousands of your CCTV devices can act as a virtual workforce for you. So imagine hundreds of the people, hundreds of the cameras immediately turned into virtual workforce working for you 24/7 in a transparent and unbiased way. So that is the crux of video analytics and the power of it, right? But not only that, I'll talk more and more around it as we proceed further. But before that, I'll give you a company background as well, right? So basically, Jarvis is a brainchild of Staqu Technologies, and Staqu is into the AI research firm, is an AI research firm, and we are into this market for the last 7 years now, right? And when we say that we are a research-driven organization, I can proudly say that we are the one of the pioneers into the video analytics and artificial intelligence space currently into the market, which are research driven, and it's a proprietary product because we have our innovation team which continuously innovate, publish research papers, file the patents into the similar domain itself. So if you look into this, we have right now 25 plus research papers which have been published into national and international conferences. We do have filed more than 4 patents into the same specific domain of video analytics and artificial intelligence, right? So that's where our zeal towards the continuous innovation never dies, right? At the same time, I'll share one quick insight. Even the CEO of the organization, right, Mr. Atul Roy, he has done his master's in AI from University of Manchester in 2010, worked for a company, Graphene Labs out there, which won the Nobel Prize in 2010 for the graphene product, right? And after that came back to India in 2014 to start this organization. So you can understand the DNA lies into artificial intelligence in this organization. So that is how we are here into this space. Not only that, any company is known with the type of customer base it caters to. And we can proudly say that we are, heavily penetrated into the public space and private enterprises both. Just for your information, right? If I talk about manufacturing, you name any organization, any domain in manufacturing, right? May it be FMCG, cement manufacturing, bottling unit, glass manufacturing unit, or chemical industry or anything, right? Or even a power distribution, right? We are everywhere. So companies like Marico, Piramal Glass, Cheeke Super Cement, Adani Power, Agrocell, Borocell, Sham Steels, all these big shot manufacturing companies are using the same technology for one way or the other to automate their business functions. Not only that, imagine if you're from a retail organization, we are also working with largest coffee makers like Starbucks, then Crocs India, which makes the footwear. We are working with largest airport lounge management company like Travel Foods and Services, largest infrastructural companies like Embassy, right? So all these players are using the same technology some way or the other inside their business functions. But it's not only about private enterprises, right? I'll tell you a certain story that might give you a goosebump if you have some patriotism inside your heart, right? So if you look into the left side of it, we are proudly working with 9 of the Indian state police forces, ranging from, you can say that, the northern belt like UP Police, Punjab, Haryana, Telangana, Assam, Bihar, Rajasthan, and all. And not only in India, we are working with Dubai Police as well, right? Where these organizations are using the solution for the national security purposes. Just to share some insights, these police forces have been able to burst 8,500 criminals at ground zero using the similar technology, right? They have been able to burst more than 8 terrorist modules in the last few years using the same tech. So you can imagine the kind of impact we have created from the similar technology across. And that is where the authenticity and the credibility of the solution comes into play. Not only that, on the right hand side, you might be wondering, right, what these logos are doing. So these are our valuable partners because of which, we are able to, scale up across the globe. So we are working with organizations like Microsoft, Intel, AWS, Tech Mahindra, Tata Projects, AGC Networks, and lot many other organizations too, right? And that's how we are, moving into next generation altogether. Now, without wasting a much, I'll just give you some data insights that, this is what we are doing. We are processing more than 20,000 cameras on a monthly basis, which is generating more than 5 million real-time alerts on a monthly basis. And not only that, as I already mentioned, we are trusted by those who saves us 24/7, that is Indian Army and police forces. Moving forward, now coming back to the basics, right? You might have seen this kind of a video wall setup somewhere inside your organization. It can be a 55 inches TV screen, or it can be a multiple screen joined together to see the hundreds and thousands of camera footages. The point we are trying to make out here is, if you look very closely, you will analyze what is the purpose of a CCTV camera, right? Number one, monitoring. The second, identification of what is happening in real time at which particular place. And third is, on the basis of the data, you should be able to take some better decisions, or you should respond on top of it. And that is where, in the current ecosystem, lags a lot. Because, say for example, you have 10 different sites. Now, different sites have different make and model of cameras, depending upon what time you installed it, what made economical sense to the commercial team, and so on and so forth. Somewhere it might be CP Plus, Dahua, Bosch, Hikvision, Honeywell, and so on and so forth, right? Imagine your IT folks, like people like you, right? You end up managing hundreds and thousands of CCTV panels. You end up managing hundreds and thousands of login credentials for that. And you are unable to track in real time in that direction. And that's where JARVIS comes into picture. The number one basic problem that we solve for any organization is, even you are a head of IT, you are a CIO, you are a C-level executive or a managing director, right? The number one thing you wish to have is the transparency and central visibility across your sites, so that you have some sort of a control in that direction. And that's what we allows you to. What we do is, if you have multiple sites of different make and models, we help you centralize and aggregate all the CCTV infrastructure into one single platform, right? It doesn't even matter what the make and model is. So we help you with that single platform. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. It generally happens. My internet just went off for a while. Apologies for that. Am I audible to everyone right now? Just to check.
Yes, yes, you're audible. Yes,
Yes,
it is.
yes, Neeraj,
Perfect.
you are.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm just resharing my screen with everyone. No problem. I think now it's visible to everyone, right?
Yes, Neeraj, it is.
Perfect. Thanks for that. So I was just saying that, there are a couple of factors. Number one, I already mentioned that you can aggregate all your CCTV cameras from different sites into one single platform. The second most important thing is you should be able to identify what is happening in real time across all those sites, right? And that is where the artificial intelligence layer comes into picture. So imagine as an operator, I'm watching the camera streams, like hundreds of cameras in front of me. Certainly speaking, I'll not be able to continuously watch those footages 24/7. And that's where AI can help me, help the technology team, help the safety security teams to make better decisions in real time. So rather than doing a post-mortem analysis and taking a reactive approach, you can have a proactive decision making on the basis of real-time incidents. So what happens is, suppose an intrusion happened, suppose an unauthorized access happened, suppose a theft happened, or a fire incident happened, or some customer analytics you wish to understand in real time, right? Anything that is happening in front of the video data, Jarvis, using the artificial intelligence layer, can give you the analytics in real time, right? So that is the capability. And number three, on the basis of all those parameters, you will be able to take the better response with the help of internal ticket management system that we do have. So even anybody can raise an immediate ticket and make them resolve that particular incident. Quickly moving forward, if you look into this, if I have to summarize everything, Jarvis is a plug and play technology which enables you to, connect your cameras with internet along with Jarvis with fraction of minutes, right? What happens is we only require two things: internet connectivity and the CCTV cameras from the site. Nothing else is required. And on your existing CCTV infrastructure, we can deploy it. Over and all, Jarvis is having more than 80 plus use cases altogether that you can pick and choose from, depending upon multiple modules. Like we do have safety and security module, we do have operations module, we do have customer analytics module, and lot of different modules are there that you can pick and choose depending upon your sentiment and your availability of that particular thing. Quickly moving forward, I have a small demo video that will give you a detailed insight that how organizations are using the same tech for various different business purposes. Just have a look.
Neeraj, you need to play the audio part here also.
Okay, if the audio is not available, I think I shared the audio part as well. No worries. Make it available again. Is it visible? My bad. I think Facing a bit issues with audio here.
Yes, Neeraj, it is visible. Now we can hear that.
Well, I hope that you might have got a fair understanding that what video analytics looks like and how people are leveraging their CCTVs to automate their various business functions. To summarize things, I do have certain things to show you, like safety and security module. Just have a look. In order to summarize things, you can automate your safety compliances like PPE detection, like whether the workers are wearing a safety helmet, safety jacket, safety gloves, safety apron, and so on and so forth. You can track with the help of cameras itself. And you can track that whether the non-compliances are decreasing week on week or increasing week on week across different plants. Not only that, you can also use the same thing for periphery security, right? So what happens is you cannot deploy a security guard or a manpower at every 30, like 300 meters altogether. And that's where you need to have an AI system in place that any suspicious movement across the boundary wall, you should be able to understand that. Not only that, even if sometimes what happens, the cameras are not working, right? So whenever any camera of yours is not working, system will immediately throw a real-time notification to you. Then fire incidents. In case of any fire issue, right? If it is in front of the camera, system will automatically detect it and let you know that. Overcrowding analysis, right? So if there are more than 50, 100 people are gathered at a location that where you feel that all of a sudden violence can happen, system will immediately notify you on a active basis. Then intrusion detection, if you have any unauthorized movements during the odd hours, you can track that. Vehicle number plate recognition, very important use case. I'll say that in any site, right? What happens is lot of vehicle come in and go out to load, unload, drop the raw materials and so on and so forth. How many times your guard will manually make an entry? They might miss it as well. And that's where camera can do the job for you. Any vehicle movement which is happening from the main gate, coming into the loading area, dropping the material and going back, you can understand the entire turnaround time of that vehicle movement. If that any vehicle is standing in a wrong direction, you will also be able to track that. Not only that, since COVID was there, so a lot of organizations also use the same tech to make their workplace safer for their employees. Like whether people are wearing the face mask or not, they are maintaining the social distancing or not, the cleaning and facility management services are happening on a timely basis or not, everything can be tracked down from the same CCTVs itself. Not only that, there are a lot of other things that we do, right? So one was the safety and security module that just you saw a few of the cases. Then there's another module known as retail analytics module. This is for knowing your customer in a better way, making an upsell or cross-sell opportunity across, and making your traditional tech store like stores into a tech-enabled stores altogether. With the cameras, you can track the footfall analysis, right? For which companies spend lakhs of money just putting a sensor-based devices, which gives them a very wrong data. Using the cameras, you can, detect all those things. Demographical analysis can also be, understood, like, what is the age group, gender of that particular customer who's coming in and going out. Queue analysis. A lot of times people, waste a lot of time in standing up in queues. That makes a very bad experience for the customer. So you can also understand, whether how long it is taking for a customer to get billed, right? When you need to open another counter for the same. All those things can be tracked down. Then repeat visitor identification, very important feature. So suppose Neeraj goes to any XYZ stores today. Now you can use your Face ID tag with the customer loyalty program. And next time, whenever Neeraj is going to anywhere, on the basis of your, personal data, they can give you much better insights. They can help you better offers. They can help you with personalized things, and you'll have a experience of your lifetime in that direction. Talking about, hyperlocal marketing, you can also use the similar technology to tag in that fashion. Heat map analysis, like suppose the inside layout of the store, how you will understand that, which areas are underutilized, which shelf area is, maximum utilized, and how you can place your high value item in the front and all those things. So that kind of a data is also available from the same CCTV cameras. Moving forward, I have some snapshots for you. If you look into this, anybody who's coming in, going out, there's a unique counter and tracker that is maintained for the footfall tracking. You can also track their age group, gender using the Face ID. Even if the mask is there, the gender analysis can still be done. I'll show you that. Heat map analysis, I'll just show you a very quick video for the same, right? So if you look into that, this kind of a planogram is there where, and whenever people usually move in and go out, it automatically turns red, yellow, and green. Now coming to the architecture diagram, I think you might be figuring out that, how the rocket science is happening by now, right? So as I mentioned, it's very simple, right? You only require the cameras on the left hand side. Generally, these cameras are connected to NVR and DVRs. Now, as I mentioned, the second aspect that was internet, right? So the cameras over a static IP and internet is connected to the JARVIS engine. This is the server. It can be an on-cloud server, it can be an on-prem server or hybrid, depending upon your sentiments, your IT policies, right? Once that is done, we build a connection and JARVIS engine automatically start reading the video footages from the data and throw you a real-time analysis and alerts onto JARVIS web panel, JARVIS mobile application, and you can also trigger SMS, email, integrate with your SAP systems, reporting mechanisms, and also from the API endpoints that we can extend. So very simple, cameras, consistent internet, and that's it, right? Talking about some features and specifications, it's very accurate, right? In most of the cases, you can get accuracy as high as 95% and above. In some cases, you can also get it 99% and above. So depending upon what kind of features you're choosing, what benchmarking is done, you can achieve it. As I mentioned, it's camera agnostic. So it doesn't even matter which make and model of camera you have. We can integrate it if that is on-with compliant in that direction. It's a plug and play solution, as I already mentioned. So internet, cameras, that's it. You can do it and you can access it anytime, anywhere. So as I mentioned, you can centralize all the footages, all the locations into one single platform and give role-based access to people to look into it. Right? It's about the vision that people think for their organization. So if you look into this, lot of organizations are using the technology for different purposes. So if you look into these three pieces, once they start off with central use cases or standardized use cases, tomorrow people also wish to automate their operational SOPs, like, counting the number of baggages on the conveyor belt, counting the number of boxes before loading, counting the number of objects on a conveyor belt. You can also use it to use that thing, right? So there are a lot of other things that I can keep on talking, but I hope this session might have given you a better insight at how world is changing in that direction and how organizations are taking a better step towards a video analytics. Now opening up for questions, I'm more than happy to answer it. Thanks.
Neeraj, we have received few questions in the chat box.
Hey, Barry, I'm just looking into it.
All right.
So if you look into it, I think, okay, Mr. Sanjay asks, what options are available to handle the false alarms? So there are a lot of things available. Also, I think that's a very good question, because with every artificial intelligence game, right, you need to train the data. You cannot be 100% accurate always. And that's where whenever it's like teaching a 2-year-old kid, right? This is how a red apple looks like, and this is how a green apple looks like. So initially, if you have shown a red apple, the kid will very easily learn that, okay, this is an apple, right? But tomorrow, if you show all of a sudden a green apple, right? So the kid might get confused. So you need to retrain with data points. We have a very automated way. You just select what are the false positives, what are the false negatives, mark it invalid into the system itself, and system automatically retrain and optimize in itself. I hope this answers your question. The second is, I think Mr. Mahesh is asking, for manufacturing plant on shop floor, how can we use this AI module effectively for quality defect detections and alarms? Also, how can we use it for line balancing? Well, Mahesh ji, honestly speaking, I need to look into what kind of manufacturing site you are into, what exactly your process looks like. Then certainly I can answer you in a better way, because we have worked on manufacturing like shop floors as well, and identifying the productivity of the people and all, right? But specific to your question, I can certainly answer when I look into it. Right. And I think Rita might have. Okay. Can it also work for perimeter protection? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes, Anilji. You can use it for periphery security. Depending upon your sentiment, it can detect the human detections as well. If you want any movement, it can also detect the object movements as well. That is there. Any other questions? I think I can see one hand which is raised right now, Mr. Nagarjan. So Nagarajan, I think any specific question that you wish to ask, we can unmute you as well. Yeah, Mr. Nagarajan, you can unmute and you can just, speak up if you have any queries around. No problem. So value prospect team, I just, request you if you can just, let the people unmute themselves so that if they have any queries, they can raise their hand and they can just ask it.
So Neeraj, we have allowed the mics there. So everyone, in case you have any question, you can unmute your mic there and can interact with Neeraj. We will try to answer all your queries there. In case you do not want to unmute your mics there, you can have a second option. You can post it into the chat box and we can certainly take that.
Any other questions, anyone?
Thank you, Neeraj, for your time and presentation, as well as thank you, everyone. I hope you all had a productive session. If any one of you have any question, you can post the same in chat box.
I think Mr. Mahesh is asking something. What will be the tentative cost for any AI module? So it's a B2B product, Mahesh, right? So there's no one size fits all for everyone, right? So it totally depends upon, multiple factors, right? How many cameras you're looking forward to, what all features you're looking forward to have, Then, what is the deployment type that you're looking forward to, whether it's an on cloud, on premise, right? And on the basis of several data points, we give you and offer you a better pricing. I think for that, we can connect offline. One of my team members can reach out and we can, have a separate discussion altogether. I think, yes, team is recording this particular video. Certainly, our team will also drop off a feedback mail along with the recording link. You can go and watch it out. That's not an issue.
Definitely, Neeraj, once after the event there, we will try to reach out to all the participants here and we'll share a recorded version of this over a mail.
Perfect. Perfect. Any other questions, anyone? Happy to answer it. I think still we have 15 minutes to go, right? So you can have it, or if we need to wrap it up early, no issues.
Sunil, let's wait for another 10, 1 or 2 minutes there. Till then, you can show your, share your email address in case anyone wants to reach out, they can.
Yes, I'm just sharing my coordinates for everyone's reference. I've dropped my coordinates into the chat window. Anybody who wish to, connect with me, feel free to, connect in that time.
So, Neeraj, I believe that there is no more questions or queries there. So, we
Yes.
are good to go. Thanks, Neeraj, for your valuable time and your presentation there. Thanks, everyone, for attending the session. I believe that you had a productive session. Thank you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you, Pratik. Thanks, team. Thank you so much.